You want me? You got me!
Power levels 8,000. How? Wait, it's over 9.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000!
What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right. Cut it!
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. I never get tired of that meme. Well, I hope everybody's having a fantastic start to May. We're now in May. And if you hold Bitcoin, you ought to be feeling pretty good. We're now 5 months into 2020. Is this going how you expected? Well, in this video, I want to catch you up with everything that's happened in cryptocurrency over the last 24 or so hours. It seems to me like there's been a renewed interest by the general public into Bitcoin. Have you noticed this? It seems like a wave of new people have entered into the space recently. And this makes sense, right? With both the crazy volatility and the fundamental value that Bitcoin has. Bitcoin is looking like a real interesting asset to hold. But don't take it from me. Take it from our favorite anchors over at CNBC. Watch them explain the Bitcoin halving to the general public. This just happened yesterday. By the way, the halving takes place in 9 days.
Check out Bitcoin, surging more than 15% this week. Our very own crypto baller says another big breakout could be coming. So, BK, how many days is it till the halving?
It's about 11 days to the halving. And so what that means, what people should know is that, as the whole world is quantitative easing, Bitcoin's about to be quantitative hardening. So they're going to cut the daily supply, or the software is going to cut the daily supply. It doesn't mean that the price of Bitcoin is being cut in half. It just means that the daily supply is being cut in half. You might want to think about it like oil, where all of a sudden in 11 days, half the oil rigs are turned off. And so therefore that supply gets reduced. In the past, this has been a catalyst for very big run-ups. We've had a tremendous run-up coming into this. It's got some wood to chop around 9,000. But I think in the medium to long term, you now have an asset that is going to be more scarce than gold based on the stock-to-flow ratio in an environment where the entire world is printing money.
Why isn't this a sell the news event?
It very well may be. I mean, if you look back at the last two, we've had quite a run-up. If you look back at the last two, it took about 30 to 60 days for this really to filter through the market. So you could have after this, remember, this is how the miners make their money is by those Bitcoin rewards. Right. So some of the weaker miners might actually have to sell out. But 30 to 60 days from now, we could see a nice run up again.
Ha! Our favorite lagging indicators. Seemed to me that CNBC had gone silent on Bitcoin for a couple months. Finally, they're talking about Bitcoin again. Now that it's fun to talk about it, I guess, now that the price is kind of up. I want to remind all new people coming into this space. If you're new to this space, listen to this. Buying into Bitcoin is buying into the long-term potential that Bitcoin has. At some point, we're going to see another heavy correction. So just make sure that you understand that this is a long game. And really, you should invest in your research and your own, just understanding of what this all is. And if you want a more detailed analysis on really, the fact that this is a long-term game, make sure you watch our video from yesterday. Watch this video. This is a good one. It talks about the broader, bigger picture. Anyways, let's get to the recent news. These first 3 stories are kind of quick. We'll just read the headlines. We already kind of went over this one, and that's the fact that a lot of new people are coming into the space, and that's something that people who have been tracking the amount of subscribers on the most popular Bitcoin or cryptocurrency subreddit, r/Bitcoin, they have seen an uptick recently, actually a steady stream of new people coming into the space. And you can see that here, or new people subscribing to this subreddit rather. So they note that it's not quite like 2017 just yet when we saw this parabolic rise, but you can see that actually this nice uptick began in July of 2019 and it's still going. So these are new people coming into the space. This is really good. This is what I always thought would happen. And actually, speaking of our Bitcoin, this is that subreddit I was talking about. I wanted to point out to you how our video from yesterday got, we often, every once in a while, you'll see a video from Altcoin Daily wind up on the Our Bitcoin subreddit. And I like that because part of what I try and do is, help, educate on Bitcoin. Obviously this comes from the point of view as an everyman. But anyways, next story. Elon Musk continues to keep the meme of Bitcoin alive. So this is a guy who's sometimes kind of actually flippant with his tweets. He's the CEO of multiple companies, and he tweets stuff like this: Tesla stock price too high, in my opinion. So that's tongue-in-cheek. That's obviously a joke. For good and for bad, Elon Musk is keeping the conversation about Bitcoin alive. And specifically, it's this tweet: how much for some Bitcoin anime? So this is really good. Final quick piece of news before we get to some other stuff. Facebook's Libra team introduces a novel distributed audit protocol. So we're not going to get into the details of this. Basically, the bigger picture is that Facebook's Libra has not gone away. They're still working on it. This is still something that they're trying to get out there. And I think this is really good for Bitcoin. I don't think this has any competition with Bitcoin whatsoever, because if people start using Facebook's, Libra, which will make paying for things very easy, they're going to realize that this is just like a PayPal. This is centralized. This is permissioned, whereas as opposed to Bitcoin, which is the antithesis of that. It's something that's, decentralized, permissionless. So this is a really good thing, and I wanted to let you guys know that Facebook is still working on this. Next story is actually a couple weeks old, but the reason I wanted to bring this to your attention is, again, because I have seen it on this channel. There's this whole wave of new people, so sometimes we have to get down to the basics. And in this case, the news is this, and this is an ongoing story, so there's some new information. Singapore court locks crypto exchange KuCoin's web domain. So while the current location of the cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin is unclear, it's unclear where their headquarters are, Singapore takes steps to prevent the company from moving its domain to another jurisdiction. So if you've been trading on KuCoin, or if you use KuCoin to buy or sell cryptocurrency, KuCoin's interface looks very similar to Binance. They've been having some problems. So KuCoin.com, the primary web domain of cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin, has been locked since the end of March by order of the High Court of Singapore. The court issued a temporary injunction on March 24th, barring KuCoin from moving its assets, including its website, from the country. A March 30th email from domain registrar GoDaddy, provided to Cointelegraph, shows that GoDaddy is complying with the court order. How the exchange will cope with its primary web address locked down is one of the many unanswered questions about KuCoin, as the company undergoes a major corporate restructuring and faces legal challenges around the globe. So, the point of this is that exchanges are centralized entities in the overall crypto space, and they're kind of risky to keep your cryptocurrency on. I mean, use them to buy and sell if you want, but as far as storing your coins on an exchange, that's risky business. And let me put in a plug right here. In the description of all our videos, we have affiliate links, so we get a kickback for these links. And I want to point out that we have one for Ledger, ledger.com. And if you click on this link, let's click on the link. If you wanted, you could buy cold storage solutions, where if you did this, you would then be your own bank. So they have the Ledger Nano X, Ledger Nano S, and if we wanted to compare devices, this is not the only game in town. There are cold storage devices called Trezors. There are others. But I wanted to point out either the Ledger Nano S is good or the Ledger Nano X. And feel free to use the links in the description if you wanted to purchase one. Anyways, guys, that is it for me today. My name is Aaron. It's a Saturday. It was kind of a light news day. I'm stacking sats. I don't know about you. Hope everybody's doing good. I'll see you tomorrow. Probably gonna do a live stream for the halving. So that should be fun. Little halving party. Anyways, later.